very angry. Listen, you're a sports mind, so you're going to help me go through these timelines.
Sure.
So the country applied for this in what, January 2013?
2013.
So we submitted our bid.
Yeah.
And then we were awarded the hosting, excuse the typo, the hosting rights, right?
By March 2014, end of March actually, is when CAF said, okay, fine, based on your bid, based on the government guarantees and all the plans that you have to build new stadia and also upgrade the existing stadia, then Africa is ready for you.
That was in 2014. So 15, 16, 17, 3 years down the line.
3 years down the line, nothing is happening. The closest we've come to having a stadium of, some definition of a stadium is the Kinoro Stadium in Meru. And all that is because the governor then, Peter Munya, actually put his feet down and said, I'm going to do ABCD. But if you look at the works, it's nowhere near being completed.
Okay, could we move to the next board?
Yeah.
So February 2015, Kenya was given what, the instruments? What are some of these instruments? What?
The instruments, the flag. There's the CAF flag, and then the charter that now the event is moving from Rwanda, because that was the last venue where the African Nation Championship was held. Rwanda, and then the minister himself went to Kigali and was handed over the flag, the Kenyan flag, and of course the CAF flag, now signaling that the next move, the next venue would be Kenya.
Okay, this is embarrassing because you're given instruments and then now they're being taken away again because this now is moving from Kenya.
It has to move because CAF works within some deadlines, and I really feel for CAF now because they've said that the deadline to submit new bids is October 1st, and today is September 25th. They have only 5 days. So whichever country wants to host this African Nation Championship, they have only 5 days to put together a bid document and see if CAF would accept that. But then look at that. The CAF delegations have always been coming to Kenya to inspect how ready we are.
But when they were coming for these inspections, did they pinpoint, like, guys, you're running out of time. Yes. You may not have a lot of time. We are not seeing anything that gives us an impression that maybe you guys will be ready on time.
Yeah, they did that, including even meeting the Deputy President, Honorable William Ruto, who gave assurances that all will be well. And when I saw an advertorial in all these TV stations of how the government is going to build a stadium across the 47 counties, really, and then we are at this stage, that accumulates to lying. And really, it's a serious indictment of this government that they went about paying advertorials to say how prepared they will be, but then we have nothing to show for that. And really, for the good of this country, maybe the leadership should come out and say, really, we are sorry we didn't do ABCD, and we can make it up for that.
Okay, so as we move to the next board, have we heard from the Sports CS? What is he saying about all this?
Sports CS was supposed to have attended the closing ceremony of the Unified Martial Arts Tournament in Mombasa yesterday, but he didn't show up. And for some of us, we knew he wouldn't, because coming after CAF had stripped us of the rights, I don't think the cabinet secretary would have the audacity to appear in public. And it's one man that Kenyans have really raised questions about his ability to steer the sports ministry. And we've seen these guys have been latching from one blunder to another one. And now the minister has no show. We have not heard from him.
One would have expected him to at least say something by now.
Yeah, exactly. And now we've just been told that in the next 30 minutes, the Federation President, Nick Mwendwa, will be having a press conference. We don't know what he is going to say. But as it is, I think all they can say now is that we live maybe to fight for this slot another time.
So June this year, the delegation held its second inspection visit. August, the venues closed for renovation, so clearly there was no renovations that was happening anywhere.
And all this has messed up the football calendar in Kenya, because the stadiums are not available for Kenya Premier League matches, all because they say they are renovating. But you go there and you look at the kind of works, the kind of rubble that has been, put up there.
So this is the amount of money you are talking about. So the cabinet approved 4.2 billion for stadium renovations.
Look at the date.
September 21st.
September 21st.
Yeah.
That is about 4 days ago. 4.2 billion shillings. And we are asking ourselves, 2013, why didn't they even approve this when they were writing the letter of commitment? Now you are putting at the disposal.
But even if they approve this, you said this is not enough to even...
It's not even enough. All this is now meant for the logistics of the tournament, not construction, not upgrading of facilities. So we are in a very serious situation. And I don't know, the cabinet, when they sat down and approved this, could someone even ask how far have these facilities been
So let me ask you, Kenya
prepared?
got this on the basis of the promise they made that we will have stadiums in place by...
Not just the promise, yes, the promise was there, but there were letters of commitment. As you submit the bids to CAF, you have to show government guarantees. And there were letters to that effect, and I had an opportunity to see some of those letters where the government committed itself to ensuring that everything will be ready. But then we kept on asking, the Standard newspaper kept on asking, how can you allocate 2 billion shillings to build facilities that would amount to over 100 billion shillings? It was not really realistic on their part. But it tells you that the problem we've had in this country is putting people who are not vast or not knowledgeable to be put in charge of all these things.
No, but surely, Toskin, there must have been someone who must have noticed that something was...
Yes, and that is where the FKF comes in.
Yeah.
Because once you submit the bid, it's not up to FKF to build the facilities. They don't have the resources to mobilize this kind of thing. The president of FKF, Nick Mwendwa, needed to get the right people to sit in the local organizing committee. It's only until the other day they pulled in the PS, that is Kaberia, to come in and try to push things, to rush things here and there. But they ought to have done it well in advance to put the right people who understand the bureaucracy, the government bureaucracy, how the government works.
Okay.
The Athletics Kenya, when they wanted to host the World Youth Championship, they roped in the First Lady, Margaret Kenyatta, and then they brought in Mwangi Muthe as the chairman of the local organizing committee. All those people know the workings of government. But in the case of Football Kenya Federation, they excluded people who could have pushed mountains within government.
Okay, Toskin, so this has happened. Kenyans are not very amused, especially with the fact that the stadiums are not ready and everything. So what next, essentially, for Kenya? And what essentially does this say about the image of the country?
First thing, if the president's people are listening or watching this show, maybe you should stop tweeting about the successes of our sports people until they start doing the right things.
But you do realize he put in place a CS to be in charge of sports.
Of course, but then he's not doing what's right. So what does he have to do? He's the chief. He has to fire his non-performing soldiers so that we can get people who are ready to do this. Because when you tweet and congratulate Eliud Kipchoge for winning Olympic marathon medal, for winning Berlin, yet the same government has not done anything to put a facility in place
to be
to
fair,
help
that
these
was a
athletes.
well-deserved win. Come on.
It was a well-deserved win, but then you should sit back and ask yourself, what have I done to help this victory come?